why is there such a divergence between this and the Marvels? Because the Marvels is not totally being slammed by everyone. It does have a contingent of the fandom that appreciates where they're taking Brie Larson in the character, but most reviews are pretty brutal. And with Loki Season 2, yes, it has a contingent of doubters, but same thing, opposite direction. The majority of fans and critics really like this, but with the Marvels, it's way more mixed. And I think it's quite simply that it looked like Loki Season 2 was in danger of doing what they did with the Marvels. It'll just be a big MCU trailer with the McDonald's and Kang for future things, but we're not really going to move with the character. And yes, the beginning was a little shaky, but once we got into, quote, the main story, they focused so much on Loki. They were ignoring something critical in the conversations they had with Season 1, and they're teasing out the implications of that, and that leads Loki to make a really credible decision. We're going to have to wait to see where they go with it, but it was really mind-boggling and very satisfying. Given the history we have with Marvel from the Captain Marvel film and the Endgame and everything else, her decisions aren't totally puzzling. They just don't matter or don't mean very much because they could have just swapped in another cosmic Avenger like Thor. They just needed someone powerful to take on the Kree. But with Loki Season 2, he is irreplaceable. His decisions matter, like what he thinks matters. It's his particular individual decisions that really influence others, and they are very critical to how the plot is moving, how other characters react. So that's something that's very much appreciated, is the histories of Season 1 are not being nullified. They're working with the histories of the characters. And why Loki does what he does seems puzzling at first, but then you realize, oh, okay, I understand the ultimate purpose of what he wants. And this does not in any way invalidate what we saw with the Thor films, the Avengers films, and so on and so forth. So he is irreplaceable. But with the Marvels, really, they could have just traded in the characters with other characters and ended up with more or less the same adventure because the characters themselves don't really progress. Maybe Kamala Khan a little bit, but that is about it. So Loki Season 2 is, yes, mixed in some places, but in terms of the central Loki story, I highly recommend this. You will probably want to see Season 1 to get the full impact, but if you just want to stick to Season 2, I think they catch you up well enough to get a really satisfying, not self-contained, but at least very memorable science fiction story.